Okay, good evening, students. Now we discussed about Python initial part. We have things to discuss here. I think I gave you this note. You may be having this note with you. So we want to discuss about, I think, functions we have discussed. So the next data type here to discuss is a list. Now remember, this list is a data type where you can have different type of data. Now the list, most important thing you should remember, list is kind of mutable data type. Mutable means the values that are stored can be changed. So therefore, we call this list as a mutable data type. So mutable means, remember, the list is mutable, which means the value inside the list can be changed. I'll explain the example. So normally list we represent by square bracket, and we can have the index number like in string 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one we can start by -1, -2, -3. So that way you can create a list actually. Now in Python, you can create this data type, use the square bracket. So here is a square bracket. Now you can have numbers like this, or you can have strings like this, or you can have a decimal point with the numbers, or you can have a character like this. So this way you can create a list. So this one is a list. If you want to find the data type, you can use a type function, type, and then you can find data types. You can see it will be displayed as a list. Now the list item, remember, first item can be assigned the index number 0. Next item, index number 1. The next item, index number 2. The last item, index number 3. Like that you can access to each one. So sorry, last one is index number 4. Like this, you can access to the values using this way. And remember, at the same time, you can start the last element with -1. Like this. One before the last, -2. Like this. Like you can have the index number with minus number, and you can access to each value like this. So this is how you can create a list in Python. Remember, once you create a list, I told you list is mutable. Mutable means content can be changed. Now as an example here, the first value is L0 is 10. But if you want, you can change this value. Let's say first value I want to change to 1000. Then you can see, if you check the list, first value is changed 10 to 1000. So that means the value can be changed in a list. That is why we call list as a mutable data types. Yeah, the content can be changed. So if you are unable to change the content, then it is not mutable data type. So just keep in mind, list is a mutable data type where the content can be modified or content can be changed. So that is the meaning of mutable. And the next thing you should know in a list, remember the same thing explained here. The length of the list you can measure by function len. So here we have a list. So you can use a function len, which will provide the length of the list like this. So this will measure the length of the list. Remember, this length function will measure the length of the list. And another thing you should know, if I have a string like and you can use a function called as a list s. So this will convert to a list actually. Strings can be converted to a list like this. You can separate each character by comma and you can get a list. So list method can be used to convert the string into a list. Where you can get each character separately. So, and again remember, you can access to the characters in a list using the index number. Like here, if you look at L1, remember L1 means ICT. But this ICT, you know this character is a string. So that also have index number 0, 1, 2. So you can access to the character one by one. L1, index number 0. Index number 0 means I. Then L1, index number 1 means C. Then L1, index number 2 means T. Like you can access to each value in a list separately. If they are strings, you can access the characters of the strings one by one using the index number. That's another thing you should keep in mind. Then the next thing you should know with the list, remember, list can contain another list. As an example, so I have a list here with some values. And then let's say another item. And then you can have another list actually. Like I can have another list, 25 and ICT 2.5 like this. And then you can have another value like this. Now here you can say list as another list. But if you measure the number of items here, what's the length? What's the length of this list? If you measure length, this first one is 100, second one is 9, third one is a list, fourth one is ABC, fifth one is 76. Therefore, you can see this list contains only 5 items. First one 100, second one 9, third one is a list, fourth one ABC, fifth one is 76. So that is how you measure the length. Then again, you can see you can access to the each value using the index number L0 is 100. L1, sorry. L1 is 9. L2 is a list actually. Then you can see L2 0 is 24. Then L2 1 ICT. L2 2, that is 2.5. So then you can see this L2 1 means that word ICT. You can access the index, each character by index number 0. That is actually index number 0 means first character I. Then you can see you can access to the second character like this. Then you can access to the third one like this. So this you can access to the each value one by one within the list. So just keep in mind how the way the list is working. Then the list can be added actually. Now if I have a list with, if I have a list with 1, 2, 3, and if I have another list M 4, 5, 6, like this. Remember, you can add the two lists together like this. You can add the list this way also. Adding the list can be done like this. And again, just like a string, this can be multiplied by number like this. Then is repeated. List is repeated 3 times. So then two lists can be added together. Then you get a new list. And the list can be multiplied by a number. Then the list will be repeated that number of times. So that is another thing you should know in the list actually. And then other thing is actually when you take a list, let's say have a list like this. If you have a list like this, remember there are some methods in the list. You can use the dot operator to access the methods. So one of the method we have in the list is called sort. So what it does, the elements will be sorted in the list. Like you can see, array elements are sorted like this. That is a sort method. But remember, this methods, sort method is one thing. And then we have other method in the list. Sorry. There's a method called as reverse, which will sort the in descending order like this, reverse sorter. So that's another method which is available in the list. Sort method will sort the elements. And then we have a function called as a sum. So that gives a total. And again, there's a function called as a max. Sorry, I put the simple letter. So that will find the max, and the min find the minimum value like this. Remember this max min method, some max min methods are working only if the list has numbers. They are not working if there are characters. So just remember now, if I have a list like this, so in that case, it is arranged in the alphabetical order. Like this. But remember, if you use a method sum, that doesn't work because it doesn't have numbers, it is having characters. So then just keep in mind list method if they have the functions sum, max, min will not be working if they are not having numbers. So yeah, and in list you can access to the values using the index number. And again, just like a string, you can have the sub-strings like this. So those are the functions we have, like I mentioned, len, max, min, sum. But these functions are working only if they have numbers. The sort method I explained to you all. And let's see. So if I have a list, so I have a list like this. Now you can use a for loop to access to these values actually. For let's say I in L, in Li. So I'm going to take each item one by one and print with the list. Like this, it gets each value and print like this. But if you write the for I in L and print I, you can have the same line with the spacing like this. You get the output in the same line with the spacing like this. That's the difference between just print and the print with end. You get output in the same line. And other thing is you can access to each value of the list item using the for I in range. This is another way to access actually len of L and print each item. Item number you can get by the index number like this. Sorry, because I put the simple L. For I in range. Then I can print the values like. So that range function will make the length of the L is actually length is depending on the 4 len L is 4, then the range 4. Range 4 means 0 to 3. Then you print each value L0, L1, L2, L3. Then you get this output like this. So that's how we can work with the list actually. Just keep in mind Then we have another part to be completed with the list. I will come to that one later. Then we have a similar data type with the list called as tuple. Tuple is similar to the list actually. You can add the two tuple like you can just re-add the two list. And again, tuple can be multiplied number like, and you can access to the each value by index number 0, 1, 2, 3 or -1, -2. You can access each value. But remember the tuple is immutable. So what is mean by immutable in the list? Remember, immutable means list content cannot be changed. That's the thing you should remember. The list content, we cannot change the list content. Sorry, tuple content we cannot change, but the list content can be changed. So now how to create the tuple? Remember, the tuple can be created in two ways. One way is you can get the tuple like this. Use the parentheses like this. This way you can create tuple. But remember, tuple can be created without parentheses also, like this. That also tuple. So then remember, when you create the tuple, either you can use the parentheses or without this parentheses also create a tuple, because you can find the data type T that define as a tuple. So then remember, and once you create a tuple, you can access to the values using the index number like this. And you can access with the minus value index number also, like this. Remember, you can access to the values in the tuple using the index number. Like now, I told you this tuple is immutable. That means now here you can see tuple is this one. In the tuple, index number 0 is 5. Let's say I want to change the index number 0 to 500. You can see it doesn't work. The tuple will not be changed. So therefore, tuple is called as immutable. Immutable means tuples content cannot be modified. Just like a string, content can be modified. Tuple also immutable. String also immutable, where the content can be changed. So then just keep in mind, list is mutable, tuple, string, integer, float, boolean, all these are immutable. Content can't be changed. But the list is mutable. And again, if I have a tuple like this, and if I have another tuple like this way, then you can see these two tuples can be added together like this, or you can add like this. So just remember, the tuples can be added like this. And again, the tuple can be multiplied by a number, then it is repeated. Here, t repeated 4 times, because I multiplied that one by 5. So this is the another thing you should know with the tuples, where the content you can't change. And if you look at where the tuple can contain any data type actually, like we discussed. Like this, you can create a tuple like this. Then you can see T0 is ABC. T0 and 0 can access to the values. And then if I take a tuple like this, so you can create a tuple like this. Inside the tuple, there can be a list. Then if you take T0 is 100. If you take the T1, it's 3. If you take the T2 like this, then you can see if you take the T2 and 2 and 2. That means 2 means, you can see T2 means list. That one 2 means ABC. ABC2 means C. Like this, you should be able to access to the values separately. That way you can create a tuple. Just keep in mind, tuple is another data type, but it's a immutable data type. And the tuple also, we can have the subtuples like we did in the strings. Like this is a tuple. Now, if I take a string like this, we can use a method called as a tuple, which will convert the string into a tuple. You can see we can access to the values with the index number. In that case, if I write T3:6, that means starting from the third one. Third one means 0, 1, 2, 3. Third one is D. 3 to 5. That is D. 3, 4, 5. That means D, E, F. So like this, you can access to it. And if you write the tuple, let's say 8. Now this one meaning is 8 onwards. 8 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means I onwards. And if you write like this T, starting from beginning and goes up to the 5th one. That means A, B, C, D, E, F. 0 to 5. 0 to 5 means those letters. Like you can access to the subtuples this way. Then if you write T, starting from the second one, goes up to the 10th one, increment by 2. That means second one means 0, A, B, C. Sorry, 0, 1, 2. The 2 means C. Then 2 plus 2, E. Like you have to go up to 9. These are the values. That is 2, 4, 6, 8. Those values will print. That 2 means starting value, 10 means last value is 9. Increment by 2. So that is how you can go to the subtuples. So if you have cases, you can ask always. Then you have to derive for the set. Remember the set. And other thing I forgot to tell you in the previous one, if I have a list like this, you can make it tuple using the method tuple. Now here this is a list, but I can convert this into a list. Sorry, you can convert tuple, you can use the method tuple and call the L. So then what happen? That is changed to a list is changed to tuple. This is changed to tuple. And then the next one is a set. Normally use a curly brackets. Remember in the set, if the same number is repeated, it takes only one value. It don't allow to have this repetition. So S, you can see only 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In a set, we don't allow to repeat the same value. So this is how you can create a list using the curly brackets. So this is a set. And once you get the set, actually, you can have different operators. Like in a set, we have this notation for union. This notation is for the intersection, difference, like symmetric difference. Like you can get those values with the set. Now, if I have a set like this, and if I have another set, let's say like this, so in that case, a union you can take this way. So that's the union. At the same time, you can get the intersection like this, the common value to both two sets. So these are some of the set operation. Remember, you can't access to the values using the index number here. That doesn't work. Therefore, the set's content can be changed. Then remember, sets are also immutable data type. Immutable means content can be changed. Content can be changed. It's immutable data type. So that is another thing you should remember regarding the data type, what we call sets. And you can create a set. Now, if I have a list like this, you can convert this into a set using the method set. Like this. So that creates a set. This is the set method. Then the next data type is a dictionary. It looks like a dictionary, like you can create, let's say, an example. That also will create the curly brackets. But the difference is that you have the two pairs of values. That is, one is called the key, other one is called the value. As an example, you can have A, just like dictionary, you can write A means apple. as an example. And then you can have the B. You can say B is bus, like that. Then C, you can say car. That too you can create a dictionary. And then you can access to the value. Now remember, this A is called the key, and this is called the value. So in dictionary, you can access to the value using the key, like this. Like this. You can access to the value using the key. Like this. Another thing you should know, dictionary also mutable. That means the value can be changed. As an example, now currently B means bus. If I want, I can change it. Let's say I just change B means not bus. I will make this as a bet. Then you can see dictionary will be updated to the bet. Early it was bus, B means bus. Now it is changed to the bet. Therefore, in a dictionary, value can be modified. The value can be changed. So therefore, you need to remember dictionary means that's a kind of data type which is we call as mutable, where the content can be changed. And if you want, you can add a new one. Let's say for this dictionary, I want to add the D. D means dog. Sorry. Then you can see dictionary will be updated with that. Like this, you can assign the values. Another way you can do this actually. Now, there can be some meaningful things can be done actually. Now, in the dictionary, let's say you create dictionary F like this. Now here the advantage is this is just like name and the age. Now if I want to find out the age of the Nimal, I can use the name. Then that tells you what is the age of the Nimal. 45, something like that. So that way you can do some meaningful things actually in the dictionary. So key is the name, the value is the age. Then by giving the names, you can get the age of that person. Some instance, these things are very important actually. When you are doing some programming, we need to do that kind of things. So then just remember, in a dictionary, you can have the values like this. Then if you use the length of the D, you can see what you get, like this. you can have this methods that are available. So that will just display the keys of the dictionary. A, B, C, D are the keys. So just keep in mind you can work with the data type like keys. And then yeah, there's another thing we want to discuss with the list actually. That is we call the list comprehension. This is also a useful task actually in the list. List comprehension. We want to study that also here. Now, this comprehension is actually we can create very nice list using this comprehension. Like as shown here, I want to get the list 0 to 4, which can be done in a function. I is the variable, then you can use a for loop for I in range 5. Then it gets each value and display. So it's just like sorter methods to generate some list. Now, if you look at this example, in the first one, this one, so here we create a list for I in range 10. Range 10 means you get the value 0 to 9. Then each time that will print the 0. Therefore, 0 will be printed 10 times here. And here the I squared. What are the values of the I? Range 1 to 8. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then the print I is actually 1 to 7. And then here is squared. Therefore, you get the squared values 1 to 7. This one I multiplied by 10 for each I in the L. L is this one. So each value of this list will be multiplied by 10. So that's how you get this one. And next you get this string. String means basically this one. And take each character multiplied by 2. So then take each character. That means you take the H multiplied by 2 twice like this. Next character twice. Then you get the output like this. Next one is a list. You can take each value from the list and display only the first character. First character is O. First character is a T. First character is T, like that. Then from the list, select the I. I is less than 10. Select the I from the list, but the value should be less than 10. Less than 10 means here 1, 5, and 9. So those are the values, 1, 5, 9. Then take the values from the list M, this one. If the length is 3, only the character length is 3, first character will be displayed. Now there is a length is 3. Length is 3 here. And length is 3 here. Only these value first character is taken. O, T, and S. That's the meaning. Now here the meaning is actually take values from range to range 10. Range 10 means 0 to 9. And take each value half of that. Then 0 to 9, half the values will be displayed here. Then there's a list. What you do, you select only the positive values of the list. The positive values are 9, 0, 30, 2, 9. So only the positive values, sorry, 23. Only the positive values will be displayed. This one, only the negative value will be displayed, like minus 41, minus 6, minus 8, minus 8, like that. So that's the list comprehension. In the first one, we have a list with strings and the numerical values. So here we define a list comprehension. We take X from this list, and if the type is not equal to strings, type is not equal to string. So then type is not equal to string means only the numbers. So it gets only the numbers. Next one, you select X from the list, from this list, where the type is equal to strings. Therefore, display only the string values. This one, X is going from 1 to 10 actually. This print the 1 to 10. Then you print each value 1 and the square of that. 1 and 1, 2 and 4, 3 and 9, like that. Lastly is 10. That's the list comprehension. Okay, this one, can you try? Did you find the answer? Now, in the first one, what it says, take each value of the x. Here, x is equal to each value from the list. X is initially 2, and then 4, and then 6, and then 8. Take each x value and then add plus 1. Add plus 1. That means x plus 1. That is 2 plus 1, 3. 4 plus 1, 5. 6 plus 1, 7. 8 plus 1, 9. Like that. So, x plus 1, 4, x in list, like this. So, you can see each value of the x will be added 1. 3, 5, 7, 9. That should be the answer. Then the second one, you can take each x. You can take each x on the range 5, 10. 5, 10 means 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, not 10. Then x will get 5 to 9. And then you multiply by 10. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay. Okay, let's see. Ten into x 4 x in range 5, 10. Right. So 5 to 10 means 5 to 9. Take each x and multiply by 10. Those are the values. Sorry. Third one, we take the x. Okay. From the range 10 to 21. That means 10, 11, 12, 30 up to 20. 10 to 20. You get the values, not the 21. But when the x divided by 2 is a remainder actually. X divided by 3, remainder is 0. That means x should be a number which is multiple of 3. That means it works when the x equal 12 and when the x equal 15. Then when the x equal 18, those are the values it works. Because you divide by 3, check with the remainder is 0. So where the remainder is 0 only for the numbers in the x, when the x is 12, when the x is 15, when the x is 18. So we take the x for x in range 10 to 21. If the x divided by 3 equals 0, that means x is divisible by 3. So 12, 15, 18. Those are the values when the x is divisible by 3. Then x comma y for each x in range 3, for y in range 4. Then you can see x will get the value range 3 means 0 to 0, 1, 2. Y, the values are range 4. Range 4 means 0 to 3. So then you can have the x values are 0 to 3, y values are 0 to 4. So you put the y. Then x will get the value 0, 1, and 2. Y is getting the value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3. Because range 3 means 0 to 2. Range 4 means 0 to 3. That's the way you get the values. Then order is matter. Order means actually first is x. You get the x value first and complete for each x values and then y values. Yeah, if you take the order, let's see. I think order may be changed accordingly. 0, 1, 2, yes. Y gets 0, 1, 2. And then x will be varying accordingly. X can be 0 to x goes from 0 to 1. Sorry, x goes from 0 to, yeah, x will be having 0, 1, 2, 3. Y is having 0, 1, 2. Yeah, now we can see x can have 0, 1, 2, 3. So therefore x 0, 1, 2, 3. Y is only 0, 1, and 2. Yeah, according to the XY order, it works differently. The next one, x and y, x range from 0 to 3, y range from 0 to 4. If the x plus y divide by 2, that means when the x and y value is added together, if it is a even number, if it is even number, then it will be displayed. That means it will display the x and y. When the x and y is added, it should be even. Then only the values will be displayed. Then the next part, we want to get the value 0, 4, 9, 16, 25. That's the squared actually. Squared of 1 to 5. Squared of 1 to 5. So how do we display that actually? We have to have the squared from the range up to 5. So we can define x into x x into x, 4x in range. We need to have the values 1 to 5. 1 to 5 means 1 to 6 we have to go like this. Then take each x value and multiply. X is 1, x is 2, x is 3, x is 4, x is 5. And print the squared values. That's how you should get the answer here. Then for the second one, zero 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, 1.25, 1.5. So this actually, it looks like each value divided by 4, that is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, like that. So then you can see it is always divided by 4, x value. X divided by 4, 4x in range 1,7. So this will get the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And each value divided by 4. Like this. It gets each value and divide by 4. Then you get the output like this. Yeah, that is also okay. 0.25 into x. Yeah, that is correct. That's correct. Good. Then can you try the last one? So here in the last one, you can see A and B are the values for the first variable. Second variable will go from 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. A and B and 0, 1, 2. So then like this. X is A and B, Y is 0, 1, 2. Then another important thing is split method. With the list, you can get the input, multiple inputs you can get actually. So for that you can have the input method with the split, where you can input the multiple values and it creates a list and then store them in the array. So as an example, so now you can store multiple values separated by comma. Like this, you can get multiple values like this. Then you can see list gets all the values. So you can have the multiple inputs with the split method. Now in this case, you can see it gets the each value of the x and you insert these values and take each value and store it here as a list. But remember, these values will be stored as a string in the list. But if you want to have the values in the integer type, you can use int function here. Then it reads the inputs and is stored in the integer format. That's the advantage you get. Because sometimes in the exam paper question you can see these kind of things were there actually. Sorry, dot operator should be used. Sorry, X is simple. So like you can get the each value into a list, but remember the values are not in integer format. So if you want to get the integer format, you can say input int x, convert into integer, or each x in input dot split. Yeah, you can get the multiple values. Like this. Now you can see the values are taken in the format of integer. Yeah. Yeah, that's also possible. That's okay. I'm not sure whether it works if you use the int here. No, it doesn't work. So list method I have explained to you earlier. Sort method is to sort the values. Reverse method to reverse it. Append method is to add a new value to the list. Append. Yeah. So now this split method will be used in a program where you want to get the different inputs, but those inputs are multiple values actually. In that case, you can use this methodology so that you can get the different inputs together. Then after that, you can get each value one by one, and then also you can convert into integer. That is also possible. So this method you can use to get the multiple inputs, not only single input. To get the multiple inputs at once, we can use this split method. Now, in Python, those are the data types that we have discussed. That is, we discussed about the list. Previously, we discussed about the string. And then we discussed today list and the tuple, sets, dictionary. And out of those, list and dictionary are mutable. So the list and the dictionary values can be changed, values can be modified. But other data types, integer, float, strings, tuples, sets are immutable. Immutable means content can be changed. Now, list comprehension is one of the important things you should learn, because some exam paper question also this is comprehension were used. Then you need to understand what is mean by that actually. Especially when you take this kind of example actually. So yeah, you want to read the multiple inputs, use the split method, and each value will assign to the x, and each value of the x will be converted to integer. So therefore, once you input the values like this, it will be converted in integer. But if you don't put the integer here, what happened? Once you enter these inputs, those inputs will be saved in the format of string, on the other data types. So just keep in mind. So those are the all data types you should remember. And again, remember when you take this true and false data type, they are the only data types where we should start with the capital. So if you write x equal true should be always capital. Y equals false should be capital. That's the data type actually. If you look at the data type of the x, it says it's a boolean. But if you write like this, true, that doesn't work actually. But you can take this as a string, then that is okay. Like this. There is a string actually. If you type the data type, it says it is a string like this. So always remember there are three keywords: true, false, none. Those three are actually capital letters. It's not letters, a capital. True, false, none. So true, false, none always should start with capital. TRUE, false, none. All these values are always remember capital letters. Start with the capitals. All the other keywords in the Python remember simple letters. Okay, then today I will stop here. Now we have discussed Python file operation. That's the last part of the Python. So I will discuss that in the next class. Next class is actually 16. So we can have the class. So thank you for joining. We'll continue the class on the next week. Any questions you have? Okay, right. Thank you very much.